What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of She or They with Kittens. I'm Kittens, and today I've got ZOLITA on with me. She's an amazing singer, songwriter, director, filmmaker, producer, editor. Like, she literally does it all, and it's fucking nuts. She has this amazingly successful series of music videos for her own music that she's made herself. Like, the credits are so funny because it's like directed by ZOLITA, produced by ZOLITA, edited by ZOLITA, and it's literally like movie studio, we're at in the theater level quality. It's just so phenomenal. And we're going to talk today just about how she figured out who she is, how she found the confidence to shift her career from filmmaking into music, how she's come to terms with her identity, healthy relationship patterns and behaviors, and as always, how to feel settled and being yourself. Before we get into today's episode, though, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, do all those things, you know, all the buttons to push, just go do those. Also, make sure you come check me out on Instagram at @IamKittens and at She Her They on Instagram, so you can keep up with all of the fun new episodes we've got coming, fun little stuff about future guests, and also our Discord is amazing. So if you go to the She Her They website, I'll link it somewhere here. Beautiful community on there with a bunch of amazing people. So if you are just looking for people to get along with and chat with and find some shared interests with, that's your spot. But yeah, let's just jump into the episode now. Right now.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my God, so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. How have you been?
How
Are
have
you
you
okay in this? Are you okay in this heat? It's insane.
I'm surviving.
Yeah.
I'm just like cranking the AC over here.
Oh my
So
God. I hope it gives
yeah,
me like a glow and not a sweat. It'll, hopefully it'll translate as like a radiant glow. My sweat. Yeah.
a little bit of a little glisten. We love a little glisten.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming on. I'm so excited to have
me.
you. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, your name, pronouns, how you identify, and what you do?
Yes. My name is ZOLITA, and my pronouns are she, her. I identify as a lesbian, and I am a singer, songwriter, and filmmaker.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just going to jump right into the filmmaking part because it just still blows my mind. Your music videos are fucking insane.
Oh,
like, they are like major studio feature film quality productions. And I remember when I watched the first one, I saw the credits and it was like written by, directed by, produced by, this by, that by. Like, you do everything. And I think that is nuts and so impressive. So how did you learn how to do all that? How did you get those skills?
Oh my God. Well, I went to NYU to study film. So music was always something I did for myself, but it wasn't necessarily the thing that I wanted to pursue like as my career. And so when I was at NYU, I realized just how much I loved music videos because it wasn't necessarily like, didn't have to be, narrative structure. Like, you could do whatever you wanted with them. And you could also like, there's just so many different mediums in a music video. There's fashion and dance and acting. There's just so many things that you can do, and they're so accessible to people, I feel like. Whereas if I were to go like the feature film route, that just like, I feel like I wouldn't have gotten the chance to like direct my first feature until I was like in my late 20s or something. So I definitely learned a lot of like the filmmaking stuff there. But probably just by doing it, and then just by having lots of people around me, and yeah, editing for sure. Editing is like just learn by doing situation.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know too. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've learned all the trial and error drama of that for this. But so how did you pivot into music, or were you like working on music prior to that, or you just discovered it while you were in school and went that way? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so I was writing music just for myself, and it was mostly just like singer songwriter guitar. I grew up playing bluegrass, so that was like my roots.
Bluegrass.
And, yeah.
Wow, I have not heard. I don't know any
I
Who
know,
comes from that background?
random. Especially coming from like Calabasas. It was, and my dad is like German. I don't even know. He got me into bluegrass, and so that's what
So
I
fucking
grew
random.
up playing. But so yeah, so I just like wrote for myself, on guitar, and then
Mm.
while I was at NYU, and I wanted to make music videos, there wasn't necessarily anybody that I wanted to make them for, or like anybody around me that I could. And so I was like, well, like I have all these original songs. Like, why don't I just like make one for one of my original songs? And I had at that point like been connected with a producer out there and had been like, working on getting the songs actually produced. And then so yeah, so then I made my first like official music video called Explosion, and that just like it popped off. Like it went viral in a way, especially like then, that was like 2015, I think. And like hitting a
Mm.
million views on YouTube was like mega big deal.
Crazy. Yeah.
And yeah, and I think just seeing so many people like connect with a theme of like falling in love with your best friend. I feel like that was when the Haley Kiyoko that first video came out, and like
Mm.
Ghost by Halsey. Like there was all these like lesbian music videos all kind of
There was
piggybacking
a
off of each
moment.
other. Yeah, there was such a moment,
Yeah.
and I was lucky enough that my video like got into that algorithm. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's pretty much how I like pivoted and then decided that I wanted to fully go into that, and make Zolita kind of my main thing and career. So
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, your videos all have like this not common theme, but there's an energy to all of them that I think really speaks to moments that are just so left out in media, in mainstream media, in music, and like music videos. There's just this, we have the male gaze, but it's like the lesbian gaze.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
it's
totally.
like you really tap into the lesbian gaze. And I think that's such a cool thing because there's people who, maybe don't know who they are yet. They haven't kind of figured their identity out, their sexuality, whatever. And they see this and they're like, I get that. Like, oh my God, that's something I look at my best friend that way. And those moments, those little like,
Mhm.
lingering eye contact tension things that are just,
Yes, the sapphic
we don't,
gaze.
yeah, we just don't get that in a lot of media, and it's so special to feel that representation and like awakening in that.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's
definitely.
so many kids that like, I mean, and adults that just didn't know that they like maybe liked, girls or their friends in certain ways, or didn't understand themselves, and they're like, oh shit, that's what it means when you feel these things when you're looking at your best
Yeah,
friend, or when what you have a crush on, the like the like, I don't know, alternative girl in school, and you just don't really know. Like it's just so cool, and it's so
totally.
cool that it's done so well.
Oh,
But
thank you.
did you kind of keep that in mind? Like, was that an intention, or do you think it's something that just kind of naturally happened because of like who you are and
Yeah,
filmmaking?
I think that's definitely always an intention, is to make queer art. Obviously, like everything I make is going to be that because that's my identity, but
Yeah.
definitely like telling stories that I would have wanted to see or that would have been helpful for me to see, or just like telling stories that we like haven't, that are like so traditionally done, in a hetero way, and we haven't gotten to see in a queer way. So like the traditional, high school rom-com, prom movie,
Yeah.
like getting to see that played out through a queer lens, I feel like is something that was so special, not only for queer people, because it's healing to see that, especially if you didn't get to live
Hmm.
that out when you were in high school. Um,
Yeah.
but and for young queer people it needs to be normalized for. Um, and then
Hmm.
also for straight, I feel like a lot of straight people seeing that, it just like it normalizes the queer experience because it's through like a framework that they are familiar with and they already know. It's
Right.
just the same tropes. And yeah, I feel like in my older work, I was so all of it was so like alt and so like dark and witchy and like queer in that way, and just
Hmm.
very almost like outsider, like weird, bizarre vibes.
Hmm.
And I always thought that that was like, that's real art. Like that is, like what I have to do. Um, and, and make my music super dark. And then this was the first time when I was like, oh, it's just as valid to make like a happy, fun, campy story that's like just plays on a lot of traditional tropes. Um,
Hmm.
and also just like to make positive, upbeat music that like is, yeah,
It's just fun.
it's just as valid as art. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been a fun era for sure. And it's been cool, like,
Yeah.
I think especially like you were saying, just like young people seeing it and like having these realizations. I think it's been so awesome with obviously with TikTok, YouTube. It's like things can pop up, but TikTok, it really like I feel like the algorithm over quarantine was like if you were queer, it just like found you. It was like hard
Yeah.
to escape that because it was all over. You would be all over your For You page. Um,
Hmm.
like I remember I had one like friend in high school who was straight, and then she started like texting me over quarantine, and she was like, "Your videos keep coming up on my For You page," and I was like, "She's gonna
The
come out." I was
agenda.
like, "She's gonna come out to me soon," and she did, and she was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, like
Oh my
I."
God.
So I'm like, it's cool that it's finding like the algorithm TikTok like finds you. So like
Yeah.
people that maybe wouldn't necessarily search for it, like it's coming to them. But
Right,
yeah,
right. I mean, it really makes you think because we've been so like the media that we're fed and like regular TV shows and movies and whatnot has always been so curated and gate kept in so many ways, and
hmm,
the people making it and the people producing it and putting it out and all that, they're really controlling what we see. And it's so funny because I feel like in the last few years there's been such a like everyone's gay now, everyone's having gender issues now, and everyone's this now, and everyone's
yeah,
changing their
yeah,
pronouns. What's going on? It's all like as if people are being brainwashed, but it's like
yeah.
no, people just didn't see themselves in
Hmm.
in that way, and media now is kind of presenting these really cool different mirrors for people to see themselves in, and
Yes,
they're
yes,
realizing who they are for the first time and
yeah,
reflecting in a different way, and it's like so empowering and freeing, and it's
yeah,
art's always been impactful, but now it's reaching people in a different way, and it's just like it's really
yes.
really a special time, I think.
And there's just more of it. Like people have access to way more representations in
Yeah.
general. And also the coolest thing is like people have access to seeing how queer people in like the middle of Kansas live, or like there's like
Yeah.
teenagers all over the country like living proudly and queer on TikTok, and like you know a young kid in like Iowa can see that, be like, oh, there's people like me everywhere, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
they're just
normalized.
existing.
Yeah.
And it's like from literally all walks of life to see
Mhm.
that, because normally like we would only really when it was kind of Instagram only or like YouTube only, you're kind of only seeing these really like glossy aspirational lives that are
Yes, yes.
just like beautiful and curated and like I have money and I'm like living this lavish life, blah blah blah. But it's like there's people that have just they're living normal ass lives in normal ass places, and they're perfectly happy.
Hmm.
And being able to see that, I think really gives everybody else who might be in a similar situation the confidence to be themselves, explore their identity, feel like not safe, but feel
Yeah,
empowered to just be their authentic self, whatever that may be, which is
absolutely.
just
Feels like it
so
gives them
cool.
permission. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
cool.
totally, totally. Did you have any like shows or movies or artists or whatever growing up that kind of gave you that, like
Yeah,
your own version of
for
that?
sure. Mine, I feel like I talk about this all the time, and I feel like it was for a lot of people was Britannia and Glee. That was like
Mm-hmm.
huge, yeah, huge for me. Because before that, I feel like the only like type of lesbian that I had ever seen in the media was maybe a more butch lesbian. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like didn't see myself like in that, because I'm pretty femme.
Yeah.
And just to see like two femme girls my age in school like falling in love, that was just like, oh, like the lights kind of turned
Light
on
bulb.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was a big moment. But if I look back even further, like I didn't recognize this at the time, but like even Avril, like my obsession with
Mm.
Avril when I was like 8
Yeah.
was really, really
Like,
deep.
oh, that's
And
what that was.
and I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, icon. I'm so
So
happy
funny.
she's back in such a big way. It's like the
I
best.
know. She's really like, what a second wave to come
Yeah.
like crashing in on. So
Hmm.
epic. I was talking to my girlfriend actually the other day about she brought up like Hanson and Mbop, and I remembered I was so obsessed with Taylor Hanson,
Yes.
but I thought he was a girl. I was so young that I thought he was a girl, and I was like, he's so pretty and I love that blah blah blah. And then I didn't realize it until I got older, and I'm like, that is so fucking gay. Like,
That's
oh
so
my
gay.
God.
Yes. Oh my God, they were such pretty boys. Yeah.
Right? They were
Their
so
long blonde
pretty.
hair, like so
Yeah,
funny.
it's so funny that like the things that you're drawn to and they don't make sense at the time, but looking back you're like, mm.
Like, oh, that's what that was. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So what are you working on now? Do you have any like new music coming up, new music videos, new trilogies of any sort?
Yes. Yeah. So after the trilogy, last trilogy did so well, and I saw just like how many people loved the element of like it's almost like a TV show through music video, and I think people
Yeah,
really
which pause, honestly, like I just in case people are watching this and they haven't seen that, watch, go to her YouTube, go to Zolita's YouTube. These things have like a fucking millions and millions and millions of views at this point. It's nuts. And it's this full fleshed out story that's just phenomenal and people like lost their shit. So go watch that after this.
oh, thank
But
you.
continue.
Um,
So cool.
yeah, I feel like people got so attached to the characters, and I
Yeah.
loved I loved doing that so much, and I loved like getting to play with that and keep building on that story. So for this next EP, I pretty much did a similar thing in that it's a storyline again. Um, there's going to be at least 4 videos, possibly 6.
Wow.
And it's 6 songs on the EP. I already shot 4 of the videos. I shot them all.
Oh my God.
I shot them all in the same week, which was
Eh,
insane.
are you kidding?
It was
Oh my
the
God.
hardest week of my life. Not gonna
Nope.
lie, I will never do that again. But I'm glad I got it all. The first video comes out on the 21st of September, and then throughout the year I'll be putting the rest out, and they all connect again, and it's like completely different cinematic universe than the last one. And there's a lot of like fun cameos, and it was just really really so fun. And now I'm in editing. I'm editing all the videos.
Oh my
Crazy.
God.
So
Good luck to you. Is it like one love interest that's the same throughout?
it's actually
Or can you
not.
give any spoilers?
Yeah. So the spoiler I'll give is that so the series begins with a breakup, and then the whole series is centered around a road trip. So I'm essentially on this road trip. You don't know where I'm going and where I'm going to
Mhm.
end up, but there's definitely a very rom-commy, romantic, happy ending situation. Yeah.
Cute. Oh, that's so
So
fun. I'm so
it'll
excited
be
for that.
fun, and it felt like even it was a hard week, but it was also really fun because it was like queer summer camp. It was all of my crew, and we were
Oh.
all staying up 2 hours out of LA and shooting up there, and
Oh wow.
it was super cool.
Did you go on like an actual like mini road trip to do this?
I mean,
Or you just shot it all in the same place?
we shot most of it in the same place. So we shot majority was in Santa Ynez, California,
Mm-hmm.
and then a little bit was in LA. We just kind of
Mm.
faked some stuff. That would have been
Yeah,
cool if I could go
movie
on
magic.
a legit road trip. Would have been awesome. But I'm going on a road trip actually this weekend up
Oh, fun.
the California coast. Have you done that before?
Yeah, here and there. Like I haven't done
Okay.
a full one from like here all the way up like past San Francisco, but I've done from
Mhm.
here to SF before.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Where do
Yeah.
you know where you guys are going? Like,
Yeah,
are you stopping anywhere in particular?
we're stopping, and I saw you were just at the Madonna Inn. That's where we're gonna,
Love it there.
at least we're gonna do dinner there. But we're stopping in like Pismo Beach, Cambria, Morro Bay, where else? Carmel, Big Sur, like all of that.
Pretty. All the
Yeah,
pretty shit.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Oh, that'll be so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
go to the fucking ostrich farm in Solvang. If you want some weird
Uh,
shit, go there.
okay,
It's so bizarre.
I actually have been there because that's where Santa Ynez is basically next to
Yeah,
Solvang.
it's close by.
And
Mm-hmm.
so my dad's lived out there for like the last 7 years. So yeah,
Oh my God.
I've done Solvang a lot. Solvang is a weird place.
Yeah, it's super trippy. It's super fucking trippy.
It's so like
I don't.
I took my mom is Danish, and I remember when I learned about Solvang, it was like in elementary school, and I was like, "Mom, you'll never believe it. There's a Danish town in California," and she was like, "What?" And we drove out there, and she was like, "This is not anything like Denmark." She was like
It's just weird. It's
offended.
so quirky. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
quirky and strange, but like charming. I don't know.
yeah, it's definitely an interesting
I'm
thing
not
to
mad
see.
at it. Speaking of your parents, actually, how was your upbringing in terms of like figuring out your identity and also wanting to pursue your career? Because I think there's a big correlation that I've seen between people being very settled and authentic in their identity and also choosing to take a maybe different path with their career, because both of these things you're not sticking to the framework and the narrative that society sets for you.
Yeah.
So were they chill? Like did you have a hard time kind of navigating? How did you deal with all that?
So the awesome thing was that my parents were always really supportive of me and my creative pursuits.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I grew up with like that being the thing that I felt like it set me apart. Like adults were always like, "You're so good at guitar, keep doing it. You're so good at taking photos, keep doing that." And like that's where my like self-esteem came from for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so that was really lucky. I always knew that they would be supportive
Nice.
of me there. Um, and then with coming out, like that also I again got really really lucky. They're just both really accepting
Oh.
and yeah, I think in the beginning it's always for moms like sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around your like idea of what you envision for your child is just like different,
Yeah.
and it just takes a second to in the best case scenario, it takes a second and then they're fine.
Yeah.
So there definitely was like a little bit in the beginning of the like, oh, like, are you sure it's not a phase? And like, oh, you think he's cute,
The
don't you?
adjustment.
And yeah,
Yeah.
just like an adjustment period. But
Yeah.
other than that, they were so wonderful. So I am
Oh,
so
wow.
lucky. Yeah, I definitely attribute like all of like so much of, you know, like who I am, my success, and just like confidence and all of that, like having the parents that I did, and the childhood that I did. I feel very, very grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
makes such a huge difference to have that. And it makes me so happy whenever I hear that
Mhm.
people grow up with that or have that, because I'm sure as time goes on, like every generation, hopefully, but like for the most part, I think are starting to be more and more accepting and chill and supportive of people being who they are, whatever that may be, whatever that looks like. It's just like the world is a fucking mess. So like just
Yeah.
be as happy as you can be. I
Yeah.
think that's the goal, it seems. So that's really cool though. I love that.
Yeah.
Have your parents ever come see you like perform? I know you did a few Pride events this year.
Yes. Yeah. They generally are always there supporting me, which is awesome. My
Oh,
mom is
cute.
my mom's like stage mom vibes backstage, and she's a designer, so she's always like
Oh,
helping me
nice.
like like adjust the costumes and stuff like that. And then my dad is a musician as
Oh,
well.
cool.
And so he's always there supporting as well.
Oh, that's
So
so
yeah,
nice. That's so nice. Are you
yeah,
looking forward to any shows coming up? Do you have anything on the
yes,
rise for this next year?
yeah. So I'm playing Dinah Shore um, this month, which
Oh, Dinah's so fun slash funny.
I've
Fun
never
slash
been
funny.
Is it,
Oh my
wait,
God.
how
I've
many?
gone since I was young. Like,
Stop.
I
Oh
shouldn't
my
have
God.
been. Yeah. Like,
Do you,
I feel like I went when it was like the like peak, like when the L word was still
oh,
happening, like the OG L
yes,
word. Like, I was going to Dinah.
that's amazing. Wait, do you have any
It's
Dinah, like, things you can tell me about it or tips? Because it's my first time.
it's gotten, I feel like it's gotten a bit more chill over the years, but
Yeah.
it's just fucking nuts. Like, I would say don't go in the pool personally. Don't go in the pool water,
Yep.
but also brace yourself because it's like pool party during the day. It's an all day thing. Everyone's like wiling out, and then there's an all night party as well, and it's
Oh my
3 days
God.
in a row. Yeah, it's like back to back to back. It's a lot of action. So pace yourself.
Damn.
But it's so fun
Okay,
because
I
everyone's just
will.
partying like in the hallways of the hotel, and like it's just a whole thing. It's
Oh
pretty
my
fun.
God, that's amazing.
And it's
Well,
actually,
I'm
you know what
excited. That should
my
be fun.
my favorite part of it is what a diverse crowd it brings. Like, there's literally people there who
Yeah.
are like much older, like women that are in their like 50s, and they're just like living their life, having a fucking
Like that's
ball.
their
And then
weekend.
yes,
Oh,
they plan all year to do this. It's a whole thing. So it's like you get that, and then you get like the, baby gays, and you get the like just literally everyone in between from everywhere in the world. It's so fun.
that's so cool. I'm so excited. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
like I feel like it's like a rite of passage for like a lesbian
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember
Yes.
like back in the day they had, I think, like Lady Gaga and Katy Perry both performed.
What?
Like it was huge. Dinah was
Oh
like
my God.
humongous.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. Oh, I have to look
Yeah,
that up.
it was like a whole thing. It was a whole
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Wow. Oh,
Good times. Well, good luck at good luck at
thank you.
Dinah. Hopefully you
I can't wait.
survive. Is your so I
Oh,
know you're in a happy, healthy relationship. I'm guessing your
yes.
girlfriend's gonna go with you, so you guys can people watch, but
Yeah,
people
yeah,
get
yeah.
people get crazy there, so just be
I'm
forewarned.
happy I'll have her.
Yeah, yeah. What is
Oh,
actually I think that's an important thing to talk about because especially in the queer community, having I feel like sapphics in general don't always have the healthiest relationships. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? It gets
Uh-huh.
pretty toxic, it gets pretty codependent, it can get
Yeah.
messy. There's a lot of like everyone being with their friends and their exes and all that stuff. So, how
Mm-hmm.
has it how has it been for you adjusting to something that feels like healthy?
Oh my God. I mean, it's very welcome for sure. Like I've been in like toxic situations for so long.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like I've learned so much from them. And then after my last breakup, had like a 3 year, pretty much was single for 3 years,
Mhm.
and just like dating around. And I feel like that time really like made me see what I wanted, what I didn't want, and I was like just ready for something healthy. And yeah, it's been so nice. I'm just like, oh, like this is how it's supposed to be. Like it's so easy.
Yeah.
There's no games. There's no like if anything like bothers me, I'm like, oh, I can just say it and she's not gonna like punish me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I can just be like, oh, this
Shocking.
thing like made me anxious, and she's like, oh my God, like okay, I'll think of that next time. Like, and then she'll change the thing,
Yeah.
and then vice versa. If something bothers her, it's like she knows she can. She's also a Libra, so I feel like
Oh, I'm a Libra.
both of us, we're the best. We're the diamonds. Um, and I mean, Libras hate confrontation, and we're both
Yep.
like such people pleasers. So I feel like we're both unlearning that with each other, that we are
Mm,
allowed to like, we don't have to be walked all over. Like we're allowed to confront each other if we need to. Um,
right.
and I think because we both meet each other with such like, just like care and grace and like not, and we're never like angry at each other or punishing each other
Mm,
for bringing something up.
mm,
So it's created this space to be able to do that. And I feel like it's healed so many of my past, just like patterns and things that I've carried from last relationships. And
yeah.
it's awesome to be in a relationship that's like healing healing like past things.
Yeah, when there's actually room to bring that stuff up and deal with it because you're not in this constant survival mode, chaos, fucking shit show. It's like
Uh-huh.
all this other stuff has space to breathe and get thrown out because it doesn't, you don't need it anymore.
Totally. And it gives you also the space to like if you're within that the safe confines of that like relationship, it gives you like the space to thrive in all these other parts of your life as well,
Mm-hmm.
especially if that person is so supportive of everything and anything you are and want to be.
Totally.
It's so awesome. I think that's been a something that I've realized in this relationship, especially, is that like I thrive in monogamy. I know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not for everybody. I know like polyamory is having a huge
Oh
moment right
yeah.
now,
I
especially in
can't do that,
LA.
but yeah.
And I
God
tried
bless everyone who can do it.
truly
It's
like
I don't know
awesome.
how.
I'm like not gonna don't want to knock it for anybody else. Yeah, I think I just realized the last situation that I was in towards the end of it was wasn't open relationship, and
Mm,
I just yeah, it was like just so much anxiety all the time, and like
yeah.
so yeah, I think I thrive in monogamy. I love it. It's not cool to say, but
No, I think it's cool because it's like it having having healthy stability gives you security. It gives you space to be confident, to grow, to not have to like be in anxiety, fight or flight mode all the time. It really is like
hmm,
you have somebody who's your rock. Like that's of course people thrive in that, you know? Do
yeah.
you think do you have any I guess do you have any other things that you can attribute your confidence to, like when something hard happens or when, especially in a social media age, especially being an artist who's like vulnerable and fucking public facing and everyone's
Yeah.
looking at everything you do and judging it. Do you have any tools or things that you do to kind of cope and stay grounded and stay authentic and stay confident despite
Hmm.
whatever's going on?
Oh my God. That's been a, it's, I mean, that's a constant, like, up and down thing, right? It's like sometimes the comments really, really do get to me, or I feel like they're just like more than usual or like negative or something.
Mm.
And it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely hard. But the tools I did Kundalini yoga for 6 years, and that was
Oh wow.
super helpful. I left Kundalini because there were a lot of other issues. It was like a cult, but there were good things in it.
I've heard some things about that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like at its core, like the practice wasn't bad. Like obviously that's which is the case with so many things like that. It's like the person at the top who made it bad,
Right.
um, but yeah. So I think that was really helpful. Just like meditation practices. And now I actually just started doing TM, literally only a few weeks ago, and it's
Oh
like
wow.
yeah, and I'm really excited because it feels like I've been looking for a
How did
new
you start doing that?
so I just went to the court. There's like a TM center in Los Feliz, and you do like a
Mm.
4 day, like a 4 day intensive kind of thing, and they teach you everything, and then you're kind of just then you're on your own,
Uh-huh.
and
Which
and
that's
it's
transcendental meditation for anyone who doesn't know.
yes, yeah, and it's I think the reason why I know it's such a like I feel like I was so like I didn't look into it at first because I was like, oh, it feels like such a gate kept Hollywood like
Yeah.
celebrity thing, but I think the thing that I am really, really liking about it is that I mean, it's only 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night, which, like, coming from Kundalini was like, the more you do, the better you'll be. So it's like, people will be doing it all
Oh
fucking
God.
day. Like, and that's the culty aspect of it that becomes
Yeah.
addictive because it's like, oh yeah, wake up at 4 a.m., do it until 6:30 a.m., and then you do it again at 10. And then it's just
Oh
like,
no, it's just too much.
yeah. And at that point, it's not practical because you're like, okay, I'm doing all this meditation to try to be better in my real life, but I'm not even in my real life,
Not even present.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So,
God.
yeah. So I've really enjoyed it so far. It's felt like a much more, like subtle
Yeah.
version of what I used to do and more just like,
Yeah.
oh, like I feel like grounded and positive and like just feel like good.
Yeah.
Um, so
Seems a
yeah,
bit
so
more
that's yeah,
sustainable.
definitely. So that's been a good tool as of late. But other things, I think other cooking has always been a good way to get my mind off things. Just like being with my friends and hosting and And then honestly, if I get like super down on myself about just like mean comments or just like feeling like, like I'm like, oh, what am I even doing any of this for? It's so pointless. Like sometimes I'll watch some of my old videos when I was like even like holier fight like a girl when I was like, like 4 years ago. And she's like, okay, like you're still like you're that person who made that video that helped a lot of people. Like, don't forget that. Like,
Mm,
keep doing it. Like that's the reason why you're doing this. No other reason. Like, keep remembering that reason,
yeah.
you know. And I think sometimes it literally takes me revisiting like some of my old work to remember like where, where this is all coming from and why I do it.
Yeah.
So,
I do the same thing. I
oh,
literally will like when I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life and why?
yeah,
I'll go back to the old stuff and be like, okay,
yes.
okay. Like
It's
recharge for
so,
another little
yeah.
period.
It's so healing because it's like the old stuff is like it's like the beginning of your fresh idea of like doing it, and it's not kind of like totally like muddled and shrouded with all of these other people's opinions and like
Yeah.
all this other stuff that comes along with, like you said, like being a public facing person. um
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think it's, I mean, I guess that the reason that that works is just going back to your roots and really centering and grounding yourself in whatever you're struggling with
Hmm.
and finding the simple joys and the simple purpose that you were inspired by originally.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that stuff helps so much. Even when I remember I was feeling like really just, I felt like I lost my identity a bit through the pandemic, which I know like everyone did a little bit.
Hmm.
And I was like, I feel like I look boring. I feel basic. Like, who am
Yeah.
I? What the hell? And I went and I looked back because I had a major high school phase of like just changing at like my hair, the way I dressed, at my everything. I went through so many phases trying to just kind of figure out who I was. I
Mhm.
literally got an award for most changed my
Oh my
senior year.
god,
Like
that's
it was a
amazing.
thing. I went from like varsity dance team cheerleader freshman year to like being gay, chopping my hair off to like super scene
Hmm.
kid to like super into like DJing and underground hip hop. I was all over the place. But I looked back at that and I was like, that girl wasn't scared of exploring, of experimenting, of
Hmm.
trying different things on, of, chopping her hair off because she knew it would grow back, like all these different things. And
Yes.
going back and finding inspiration in those roots is so, so helpful.
Oh my
Because I
god,
feel like,
literally from your younger self. Yeah.
yeah, everyone's got, I think, no matter what you're going through, I think like everyone can have some memory of feeling free and inspired and happy somewhere in their past. And to just
Oh my
go
god,
back to
yeah.
that point and be like, who was that person? How do I
Yes.
get back in touch with you? Makes such a big
Yes.
difference.
That is such a helpful tool. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so easy to like you were saying with the pandemic, just like overanalyze yourself just because we're literally just like seeing we have so many different versions of ourselves we're presenting online. And it's like the
Hmm.
more you look at it, you're like, wait, this like who even is this? Like, how am I being perceived? Like I'm like, do I
Yeah.
want to be perceived? Yeah, it's where like everybody is forced kind of to like look at and analyze and view themselves in ways that they like that we didn't in the past, just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mind fuck.
It's such a mind fuck.
Okay, this is my favorite question. Everyone has fun, different answers. You can answer
Yeah.
with literally anything. The science doesn't matter. Like whatever you are inspired by, you can do. What is your dream creation zone? It can be underwater. It can be on the moon. It doesn't have to be realistic. But what would your
Ooh,
magical creative space look like and be?
my magical creative space, probably somewhere in the middle of like a forest, but like
Hmm.
not dark. I wouldn't want the forest to be too dark. Like it would be like bright forest, little fairy kind of cottage. Um, Definitely horses around me.
Ooh.
And yeah, I feel like that's kind of my dream creation zone.
That sounds magical. Thank you so much.
Thank
This was
you.
amazing. Do you have any last thoughts, any like a little advice you'd want to give to anyone, any like words of
Ooh,
encouragement?
some advice. God, my my advice is to be shameless. Like,
Ooh.
I think, yeah, be shameless, make your art, don't think too hard about what people are going to think about it, put it out. It's okay to be cringy, you know. I feel like right now, especially with TikTok, cringe has become like a little bit more normalized. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
true.
but don't be afraid of what people are going to think, and be shameless in the way you live your life, you know.
Love that. It's
Yeah.
amazing advice. I need to take that
Yes.
myself. Awesome.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much. I'm so
thank
happy to have had
you.
you.
Me
And
too.
I'll see you around.
Yes, I'll see you so soon.